Hello there. I think I promised you to come back with my tea last time, so here is Nanu. Today we are going to talk about my cultural shocks in Switzerland. Did you know that in Switzerland you can pay for paying for half price? Yes, you've heard me right. Using SBB yearly subscription, which is called Halbtax, Half-fare, where you can actually paying for half on the later time. Yes. Of course we have to touch to the punctuality issue. We are in Switzerland, and I'm sorry not to have a Swiss watch. Punctuality is really on an advanced level here, and if you have any problem with that, think twice before you move in. Swiss people consider being late as disrespectful, and you may easily lose your reputation by being late for once or a couple of times. So be careful and watch your watch. Another point you have to be aware of before moving in Switzerland is the direct communication. What I mean by that let's say you have a work friend and you want to do some weekend activities together, and you come from that, oh, what are you doing this weekend? And they will talk about probably hiking plans, and if you expect them to invite you to the activity, you will wait really long time. So if you really want to spend time and get to know the person, initiate having direct communication by saying that, oh, what is your plan for the weekend? I want to have some activities with you. You have to be very specific to get invitation or set a meeting with someone. Not to mention that it will be very hard to find a Swiss to get to that point as well. During my first month in Switzerland, I thought that Swiss people was born with the friends. It took me really long to find one. And if you find one, there is an easy way for finding even more. You just inherit their old friends and try to come together once or twice and make some hobbies in common. That will work. Or if you're a foreigner, you can cook into their heart. That worked for me quite well. Now, go to the kitchen. Have you ever wondered what kind of cultural shocks you may have in Switzerland? Let's start with my favorite, tomato. Since I moved in here, I am struggling to find tomato which is tasting like really tomato. The moment of truth, if the tomatoes are really good. As Swiss people may say, solala, which is not so good, not so bad. If you're from Switzerland and you have never tried any tomatoes, at least from Italy, you have no idea what does tomato really taste. I would recommend you at least give a try to Italian tomatoes, please. Probably some of you coming from background where paying at the restaurant is an issue. I have a good news for you. It is not an issue here at all. Don't get me wrong, I don't mean anyone to pay for my bills. However, I truly miss that fight over paying for the meal, and I wanna win that fight. I assume you already know that Switzerland is a multilingual country, Official languages are German, French, and Italian. Also, Romansh is used in some regions. According to the region you live in Switzerland, for example, cantons nearby Germany will speak in German, cantons nearby France will speak in French, and cantons nearby Italy will speak in Italian. And Romansh, I am not sure. I was so hopeful that at the end of 4 years living in Switzerland, I will be at least fluent in German. And welcome to reality. Swiss German is quite a unique language where even Germans are struggling to understand them. One of my German teachers once told me that in Switzerland, in every 50 meters, the accent changes. Unfortunately, the accent is not something you might understand or guess. It takes some time to accept that you will not understand them. Whenever I feel like I want to feel that I know German, at least a little bit, then I go to Germany. A very interesting topic in Switzerland. And yes, regardless of having a TV connected in your household or not, you are going to pay that 300 francs of TV tax, especially in big cities such as Zurich. Yay! And you want even your garbage bags to be fancy. You will definitely get it in Switzerland. Do you know that by only paying 15 francs you can get that 15 bags just to be able to throw away your garbage? And you still think that Swiss people are rich. So in Switzerland they do have these bags. It used to be white, by the way, and it used to be 20 francs for 20 pieces. But recently they thought that that's too cheap, let's make it 15 francs for 10 pieces. Anyway, you can use these bags to throw away all of the litter you made. However, for the plastic and glass and as well as bio, you need to recycle them separately and you don't have to pay for them. There are some collection days, let's say on the cardboard recycling day, everyone leaves all the cardboard outside and the machines are collecting them all. As a person who comes from a background where the natural sport is sleeping, it was quite surprising for me to see how active are Swiss people during the weekends. Story time. First week when I arrived to Switzerland, I was at work. The first question, of course, you are asked on the Monday is, what did you do on the weekend? And I was like, oh, what did I do on weekend? What do you mean? Am I supposed to do something? What do you do on weekends? Yeah, I had a lot of questions in my mind, and of course I said, yeah, I had a small walk around Zurich City and I saw maybe some swans and so on. Of course my answers were not that satisfactory. And I asked them, what do you do on the weekends? They said, oh, we went to another mountain and we hiked up and then we had a night in the hut, which is a mountain house. If you have a longer hike, you can have a break in there overnight and start again to a new hiking. I was quite surprised. At the end of the long week, they really have energy to do such high demand physical activities. Of course, I was surprised and also felt a little bit pressured, but don't worry, you get used to that quite soon, and one weekend you find yourself looking for a new hiking route for your next weekend. As one Swiss may say, do not waste any sunny weekend by sleeping in your house. Lastly, I have to admit, even though those bittersweet cultural shocks are going to happen, I think moving in Switzerland was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. First of all, I've been given a very unique experience to study in Switzerland with a scholarship, where I talked about it here. I felt like home in here despite all of the cultural shocks I've mentioned before, but I was quite serious about tomatoes. Guys, you have to do something about it. Tomatoes. Anyway, I would still recommend, if you really think that you need to move in here. I don't see any obvious reason why not, except if you're unemployed. I would highly recommend to find a job before you move in here, because it's likely that you will eat up all of your life savings and you might even go back. Think twice and make sure that your job offer on your hand before you come, or your scholarship confirmation. Oh, I see, you thought I would forget to mention the Swiss treasure. Never. By the way, this is chocolate and cheese, but usually they don't eat them together. Of course, you can give it a try, sky's the limit. Anyway, it's not a miss that they have amazing chocolate and cheese. Having fondue for the first time, which is a Swiss-made dish where they have a lot of cheese and white wine melt in a pot and dip some bread in it and have it. First time I had that fondue in my life. It was quite a lot of cheese, and for the next 3 months I could not even pass from the cheese section at the supermarket. I mean, I love Swiss cheese, but it was shocking for me to experience the maximum. Guys, that was all about my cultural shocks in Switzerland. If you enjoyed the cultural shocks of a foreigner in Switzerland, I would be very happy to see your thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe, share and like, if you really do. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.